Hey guys, it's your boy Karas. I want to go ahead and ask you to subscribe and like the video if you haven't already. Let's get into this guide. Anyway, this is the Bleed Fury spec. This is phenomenal. This is a phenomenal spec. Just to get straight into it, Impending Vector, I don't want to explain every little talent, but Berserker Rage, Berserker Shout, gets rid of all CC on your teammates that are incapacitated, sapped, disoriented. Wrecking throw. With this talent, with Warlocks being good going into Dragonflight, this gets rid of Dark Pact instantly, unless if they wall. It gets rid of it pretty fast, and when you're killing 3s or 2s, this will get rid of it. It's a 30-yard range. Don't let Warlock stop your go. Grind through them, guys. Anyway, reinforced plates. Increase your armor by 20% versus hunters, other warriors. Makes you tankier. Even versus unholy DKs for some of their pets. Armor of the teeth. Gain equal to 10% of your armor and strength. Avatar. Gets rid of all roots. Snares. Increase your damage by 20%. And for 20 seconds, there's no arguing with that. Titan's Torment versus Berserker's Torment. With this build, you're always going to run Titan's Torment with Fury regardless of the situation, I feel like. Because here's the thing. When you run Titan's Torment, you have 30% more damage from your auto attacks. And your auto attacks already deal a ton of damage. Even cleaving, I would say your auto attack damage is probably your first, second, or third damage when you're talking auto attack damage. So just Titan's Torment synergizes well with Odin's Fury and Dancing Blades. Berserker already increases your auto attack damage by 5%. Furious Blows, 5%. Haste increased by 2. Your auto attack critical strikes increase your auto attack speed by 20%. So you're just looking at a murderous efficiency of auto attacks. And more auto attacks with War Machine, the more rage you build, the less rage you need, or the less haste you need, and you can run more crit builds, you can run more mastery. So I don't have a ton of mastery. I'm able to keep up the 8 stacks pretty well. I have 10, to give you an idea. So if I'm able to retain that even single target, you know that Fury is no longer as reliant on haste as we were in Shadowlands. But to get into it, you're just going to pick your basic talents. Spell Reflection, Intimidating Shout, Heroic Leap. These are basically mandatory talents. Founding Stride reduces the cooldown by 15 seconds, increases your movement speed by 70% for 3 seconds after you leap. Double Time gives you one more charge of charge, and reduces the cooldown by 3 seconds. I wish it was 5. 17 feels weird, but Wild Strikes works really well. So to get straight into Thunderous Roar, here's the thing. When you pick this talent, I see a lot of people picking into Thunderous Words, and basically increases the duration of Thunderous Roar's bleed effect by 2 seconds. That's one more tick, which is good. And increases damage of all your bleed effects by 15% at all times, which is really, really good. But the issue that I have with that, per se, is that you don't have a lot of uptime with that ability. I like the most amount of uptime, cooldown reduction. So I always pick Uproar, reduces the cooldown by 30 seconds. It's a third off the cooldown. Fits really well into anger management. I would choose Reckless Abandon. The unfortunate part is Crushing Blow no longer charges you to your target. Otherwise, I would pick it because it did so much damage in Shadowlands that it was like it was retarded not to pick it. Maybe you could pick Anger Management in Shadowlands for like a Kyrian build with Signet of Tormented Kings. It's not the case anymore. Anger Management, Unbridled Ferocity, you get Rampage, 4 seconds on a 20% chance per rampage. Really good. Adds a lot of sustain. You're going to run Meat Cleaver with this build to have as much damage as you can with Meat Cleaver and Seismic Reverberation. Basically, it makes your Whirlwind deal more damage. You get 4 more abilities to press in between those globals. So Whirlwind, you get 4 more globals. On that 6th global, you press Whirlwind again. You get everything back. You refresh that. Cruelty increases your damage on Raging Blow. Gives you 1 more charge. Gives you another charge. And Wrath and Fury deals 15% increased damage. And while in Rage, Raging Blow has a 30% chance to instantly reset its own cooldown. Really good. Massacre. Now, I could see a build with Ashen Juggernaut if we get the 4 set, but I could also see it with more haste with Titan's Grip. But for now, I'm going to say Massacre. So, Slaughtering Strike's really good. Increases the damage of Rampage by 20%, stacking up to 5 times. You could actually just get 5 stacks and probably nuke somebody. Frenzy increases your haste by 8. When you have 4 stacks, refreshes when you hit somebody else. Kind of sucks. That is a nerf going into Dragonflight. But this is what defines a spec improved Bloodthirst. Now, I would, in a sense, get rid of this and go with Blood Craze. That's probably the better choice, in my opinion. Bloodthirst increases the critical strike chance of your next Bloodthirst by 15%, stacking up to 5 times. Your Bloodthirst critical strikes generate 4 more rage and inflict a wound that leeches 19,000 health from the target. Damage, self-sustain, everything else. Bloodborne increases the bleed damage of Odin's Fury and Thunderous Roar and Gushing Wound by 20%. This also buffs it. So, getting straight into this. You have Odin's Fury, you run Dancing Blades, you have 20 seconds of increased auto attack damage and speed, plus all your other modifiers on with Wild Strikes and your Recklessness. With Anger Management, you get a 1-minute burst window. 1 minute sounds like a long time, but when you first initially burst, you have your burst again in about 40 seconds. You've dealt an absolute ton of damage. But anyway, I want to go into this with you guys. So basically, the starter of this, the opener of this, I should say, is you're going to walk. I don't like to charge my target generally. I try to man up, get to them. Whirlwind, Bloodthirst, pop everything. We got everything off in that time, and we're holding over 100 KDPS. We're just going to be pumping damage, keep that Bloodthirst on cooldown as much as we can. And yeah, we did a ton of damage. Even though that kind of hit, 4 targets in Battlegrounds, in Arenas, that's so much damage, where one ability can do over 500k. Odin's Fury, is your top damage. Force, this build is ridiculous with Fury. No Gushing Wounds, unfortunately, but it's more of a sustained thing. It's kind of a chance. It makes you deal a little more damage. As the game goes on, you only deal more damage with it, and you only heal more. But anyway, I wanted to show you guys this build. This build is actually nuts, especially with Bloodgraves, Bloodborne, Dragon Roar being on a minute cooldown, having all these bleeds, ton of AoE from Avatar and everything else. We did about 2 million damage in 20 seconds. So that's well over 100k DPS. Of course, adjusting for PvP, that's 15 to 20% damage lost, given what you're hitting. But other Fury Warriors can't live through the burst. Even DKs struggle Windwalker monks struggle. Even enhancement shamans struggle. I've actually managed to kill enhancement shamans as Fury. Don't ask me how. I've gotten lucky. Sometimes I've just randomly reflected 300k back in their face. But anyway, you guys enjoy this build. This is going to be a great leveling build. This is going to be great for PvP. It's going to be great for RPGs. It's going to be great for Arena. Anyway, go ahead and like and subscribe, and I've got more videos coming for you. Peace.